Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Supplementarian. Today, we're going to talk about one of the common questions we get asked all the time. What should I take? Lots of people come into the store and they might be fairly healthy overall, but they know they're not feeling their optimal best and they just want to do something to improve. To help me go into details with this, I've got my friend and co-worker Jayne Rizner here. Hey Jayne, tell everybody hello.
Hey everybody.
And Jayne, tell us a little bit about your philosophy on wellness.
Okay, I feel like because I've been associated with the medical community as well as the wellness community and the natural medicine community, I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect because your traditional medical facility and individuals that work there will help you stay in a symptom-free state. If your back hurts, you can get a pill for your backache. If you need your gallbladder out, you can have your gallbladder out. And a lot of things are necessary. So I am pro medical community, and I know we need that. But my philosophy of wellness goes beyond that because I feel like what we're missing in our whole culture is increased levels of wellness. And you see people who know the secret where as they get older, they feel better. They don't get the backache. They don't get the joint problems that so many other people tend to get. And that's because they know that we have to supplement the nutrition that we get. We also have to exercise, and we also have to eat a good diet. But mainly, you can be healthy and more healthy and more healthy. You can do more, and your body can do more than you think it can do. And so that's why I love supplements, and that's why I always say I love wellness, because treating sickness is one thing, but being able to prevent sickness is a whole nother thing. And being able to prevent many of the side effects of just getting older is a whole nother thing. And that's where we can help you. So that's kind of my philosophy. And it doesn't matter what your diving board is, because you'll feel better when you start taking supplements, or if you start eating a better diet, or if you start an exercise program. You'll feel incrementally better. But if you put the whole picture into place, once you get started, you can be amazingly well and healthy and stay that way for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and that's a really important point to notice. It's a lot easier to prevent illness than it is to overcome it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to stay with healthy joints than it is to repair joints that you injured or wore down or tore down. It's much easier to prevent that. When I read like the Bible and I read about Moses, he was like 120 years old and hadn't lost any of his vigor. That means he was still a healthy man at 120 years old. Now, He got to eat manna for 40 years, and we don't. In this day and time, God is not feeding us manna every day. And I honestly don't know anyone that eats a perfect diet. Like, nobody. The people I know that eat the cleanest and eat the cleanest most of the times, they still have cheat days. And cheat day simply means a day that you're eating junk food, sugar. What we call junk is junk food because it's not nutritionally great for our diet. But everybody has those days, and sometimes we need those days. I mean, even the Egyptian, after they left Egypt, the Israelites were asking for other things in their diet because they were getting tired of manna, the most perfect food ever created. So, I think we too need that. It's just a human condition of wanting something different sometimes, and our body does do well with routine. So even with routine, sometimes it's like you can get stuck, and so you need that break. And that unhealthy days can be good for us in other ways, but nobody eats perfect. So to keep that in balance, supplements are a great way to make sure you're getting the vitamins and minerals in case whatever you're eating on a day-to-day basis is not as perfect as you think it is, not like it may be lacking in some form, some fashion, some way from what you need. So, Jayne, what's one of the main things we recommend to anybody wanting to be healthy and improve their wellness?
Well, the multivitamin. That's the foundation. That's the basic.
Absolutely. A multivitamin, a multimineral. Most of them have minerals as well as vitamins within them. Minerals should come from our soil. They should be absorbed by our plants and things in our diet, but everybody doesn't eat the 10 to 15 servings of vegetables a day that your body may be needing to absorb.
Our soil is depleted. Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of our soil is depleted. Great point, because we don't always follow the way of leaving ground fallow every 7 years and letting it replenish itself and plant things just so they can die and build the soil back. We don't typically do that anymore. So our soil can become depleted, and if it doesn't have that mineral to absorb, it's not in that food. So yes, there's definitely things that in everybody's diet that's lacking. So what's something to look at in a multivitamin? Jayne, what's important things to remember there?
Well, you want a multivitamin. Like you don't know what your body actually needs all the time. So if you get something that covers a lot of ground, several of the B vitamins, you definitely want B12 to be in there. You want a vitamin A if you can get one with that. You want a good dose of vitamin C and more than 25 milligrams. You want to look at how many milligrams of what vitamin. So you want to kind of check. I think you're safe if you buy your vitamins here because we check that for you. We don't sell vitamins that are not well-rounded and have what you need in it. Yes. And the other thing is, take a vitamin, take the bottle, and see if you feel better. And if you don't, take a different one because they are formulated differently, they absorb differently. There's a lot of different minerals and vitamins and different combinations. And so we have that choice for you. And some things might have more greens in it, and your body just needs more greens. And something might have, a better complex of minerals that you need. And so you have to play the game a little bit and find out exactly.
That's a good point to remember, because what works for person A may not be what works for B, for C, for D.
Right.
You have to mix and match, find. But if you try an entire bottle, and you've got to take the entire bottle as it's directed, you should be feeling a change, an improvement by the time you're done with that bottle. If you're not, your body may not be absorbing enough.
Yeah.
As I can tell you without a doubt, the days I forget to take something, I feel it.
That's when you know. Yeah.
And that's when you know, hey, that was working. I shouldn't have missed that. I feel much better when I have that during the day. So multivitamin, multimineral is a great place to start for anyone. If you're not taking one, I highly recommend you come by. We'll help you find what will work best for you. Now, aside from that, there's also omega-3s. Now, I know in areas like this, we don't eat fish every day. I don't know about you, but it doesn't end up in my diet every single day. And if we're not eating fish every day, we're probably not getting enough omega-3s. Jayne, tell us a little bit about what omega-3s do for our body.
Well, one of my favorite things is it helps your skin, but it helps your joints. It helps you be more flexible. It sort of lubricates your joints. It helps really a lot of your systems in your body to work better. Helps your brain. Omega-7, I think, is primarily for skin, but 3, I think, is more joint and brain, but it also helps your skin.
Yes. Yeah. And most of us, again, we're not getting enough in our diet. That's why we need to supplement or add additional nutrients to what we're taking in. If we're not eating that perfectly well-balanced diet, and our diet doesn't include fish, we don't get enough omega-3s, and omega-3s actually help maintain our healthy cholesterol levels in our body, so they can protect our arteries and things like that too. So it's great and very important for our heart health. And let me tell you, if your heart ain't working, you're not working. So make sure we got to make sure we maintain that heart health. Yeah. When your heart stops, you're declared dead. That's kind of the end of it. So we want our heart working optimally for our entire life.
Yeah.
And things like stress and other things like that can have an impact on our health. So we've really got to do everything we can to protect these vital organs in our body. So omega-3s is another great thing to add. So you've got your multivitamin, you got your omega-3s. There's also things like if you have joint pain. So joint pain comes from inflammation. So Jayne, what do we recommend for inflammation around here?
Well, we are big fans of turmeric. And so we love to recommend turmeric, and the turmeric extract is curcumin. So a supplement that contains those that is absorbable. Now we have some formulated that absorbs without having to take pepper with it. So if you don't take turmeric because you can't take that much pepper on your digestive system, then get the kind that doesn't require pepper to absorb, and then you don't have to worry about it. And really, turmeric, and if you have more joint problems, we have plenty of other supplements. But for any inflammation, and not just joints, but for all the inflammation processes that break your body down and make you age sooner than you would like to, you need to be on turmeric every day. It's just one of those things. If you have specific problems like joint problems, we do have a lot of good supplements for that. But for all inflammation issues that could come up and that probably are occurring in your body right now, you need the turmeric.
Yes, and chronic inflammation is what leads to a lot of disease. Your cells are inflamed. They're working harder than they should have to function fully, and it can shorten their lifespan. Definitely create a lot of pain. Just ask anybody with knee problems when their knee is swollen and inflamed.
Exactly.
It's not fun. Or back problems, and you've got inflammation around those joints in the back or around nerves. It's
or IBS. I mean, what if you have an inflamed gut? That's horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So inflammation anywhere in the body can be a really negative thing, and curcumin, turmeric blends are one of those things that can help deal with that and decrease it. Hopefully eliminate it, but definitely decrease it. Another thing that's important to keep us healthy, especially this time of year, is keeping our immune system up. And everybody, unless you have an autoimmune disorder, should be working to keep a really good, healthy immune system. I think of the immune system as your army fighting against everything bad coming your way, whether it's from stress, viruses, bacteria that don't need to be in here. They're there. They're your army. They're fighting it. So a good daily immune booster is a great thing to add too. So what's some of the things we like to see in immune boosters, Jayne?
Well, I like to see vitamin C, some zinc should be in there. Elderberry syrup has a lot of that already in it, and it is an amazing immune booster all by itself. Quercetin is an excellent immune booster. Quercetin with bromelain, which helps it function and absorb better. Quercetin with vitamin C is like an amazing combination to have. There's a lot of choices, but I think that those types of things taken when you're having exposure, or when you know you're going to be in a big group, or you're going to be on an airplane, this time of year particularly,
Yes.
you can help yourself out a lot by just getting one or more of those types of supplements to go with.
Yes, and we have things like the Old World elderberry super syrup, which contains the elderberry, cayenne, and a whole bunch of other
cinnamon
healthy
and honey
vitamins,
and
minerals, spices, everything that's together in that. You can take that. We get a lot of those shots out every day, especially this time of year. Somebody start, and let me tell you, when you start to feel sick, you don't wait. You start to get a headache,
Right.
That's a sign your body's fighting something. You start to run a little bit of a fever, really low grade, that's a sign your body's fighting something. You need to feed your army right then. Don't wait, because viruses and bacteria both have an exponential growth. So like a virus every 20 minutes can double in population. So if you've got 2 little bugs in you, suddenly you've got 4. and it ain't going to 6, it's jumping to 8, and then it's jumping to 16, because they are just dividing in half, multiplying themselves at that kind of rate. So you can go from not feeling that bad to being really sick in 3 hours.
Yeah.
With a light exposure. So when you start to feel it, that's when you feed your army and make sure they're well fed, ready to fight.
Yeah.
So we want to keep our armies ready for battle at all times, because you never know when you're going to be exposed to something. We are a social group, and we should share love, but we also sometimes forget and share germs. So make sure you wash your hands so you're not the culprit, but then do what you can to keep your system and your army fighting hard. And aside from that, another thing we like to look at again for the heart is CoQ10. So let's talk a little bit about CoQ10 and why it's a great thing to add to your daily regimen.
Well, CoQ10 is a cardiovascular supplement. It's one of the B vitamins. It's called ubiquinol. An amazing supplement for your heart. It helps with your heart rhythm. It helps with your heart rate. It helps clean your blood vessels out so that you don't have the clotting that you would normally see. It also helps to maintain the health of your blood vessels, which is very important, more important than most people know. Because even though we know, like, if your cholesterol is high, you could get a blood clot. Well, why is that? It's not because you have cholesterol, because cholesterol is natural and your body makes it. It's because cholesterol is a little bit sticky, like platelets are a little bit sticky. So if the inside of your blood vessels are not healthy, then everything's going to stick in there and not just slide through like it should. So that CoQ10 helps to prevent cardiovascular disease and cardiovascular events in so many ways. But it's just one of my favorite things, that if you feel like you want to see what you need to take every day in order to ensure you're healthy on this end of the spectrum and not ending up in the hospital, CoQ10 is amazing.
Absolutely. And you should start when you're young, not wait until you're told you've got heart issues. Right. Start it while you're young to prevent them, and keep those blood vessels healthy, working like they should be. Because again, it's much easier to prevent a problem than it is to get over it once you've had it. Now, for me, I want to take all of these things every single day. And there is one thing I like to recommend to people if they have trouble remembering to take the supplements, and that's these nutrient packs. All of those things we just talked about come in a single pack. So I take everything in this pack when I have my morning smoothie, and I've got everything I need for the day. Now, these do need to be taken with food typically, because some will upset your stomach. They need to be absorbed gradually. If you get too much of a vitamin all at once, or too much of certain minerals all at once, they can cause a stomach upset. Your body needs to absorb them slowly, and you take them with food so that it absorbs with your food. But this right here gives me the 2 per day, so 2 of these are a multivitamin. It's got my curcumin turmeric supplement in here. It's got the omegas in here. It's got the daily health booster, and it's even got the CoQ10. So all these are right here in one pack, and that's available. Jayne, you'll show them the pack there. Yeah. That's the Life Extension nutrient pack. There's 30 packs in here, so this is a month's worth, and it's even cheaper than buying each of these supplements individually. And then I don't have to do the prep work to remember to divide my supplements out and to count 2 of this one and 2 of this one and 1 of this one and 1 of this one and 1. It's all together ready to go.
And if you're traveling, they're so easy. Or if you don't like to take your supplements first thing in the morning and you just want to wait until you get a bigger meal, you can just throw it in your pocket or in your purse. It's super easy to travel with. Yeah.
And that's what I love the most about it. It's easy. The easier we make taking our supplements are, the easier we make feeling better. So that's the key. And that's our goals for 2024, is to help you have the habits that are going to lead to better health. Because I listened to something one day and it really stuck with me. They were talking about, what if on a scale of 1 to 10, where you think you feel a 10, you're like, this day I feel great, I've got energy, I'm going. What if what you thought was a 10 was really only a 2 on what your body's capable of? And what if you start making changes and you find out that you can do so much more, and you can feel so much better than you ever thought possible, because sometimes we attribute things to age that's really truly neglect. And it's that we've neglected ourselves for so long that we don't realize how much better we could feel if we make some of these simple, small changes. And they're changes when we make them a daily habit. So drinking water, taking my supplements, getting some exercise in, those are the habits I want to have every single day for this year. And to help you get into those habits, we've formed the Healing from the Inside Out Club. And this club is designed as a 30-day challenge just to get you forming that habit. But this is going to continue on for the entire year. And you can join it free of charge. And it's going to help give you some support. It's going to help give you some accountability. And it's going to help give you that little push you need to make these things habits. Because what we do every day means more than what we do occasionally. Because we can occasionally have the ice cream. We can occasionally have the candy. But every day we need to have something healthy. We need to feed our body and our mind and our soul something to help it grow in a positive way. So my prayer for you this year is that 2024 will be the year that you can make lasting changes to feel your best, because we want everybody to get to a 10. Let's do this together. Join us next week for another episode of the Supplementarian.